All right, good morning, everyone. It is 8:32 in the morning of December 31st, 2021, and this is my morning trading strategy session. So, Happy New Year's Eve, everyone. Hope everybody has safe and fun New Year's Eve. At this point in my life, I am happy to ring in the new year, snoring away through the night, and with my eyes closed, watching the dream television. So, all right. This morning, NTRB is the only thing that is popping up on my scanner that really looks good to me. There is a headline. Let's see if it's on. I don't see it on. Oh, here it is. Okay. It was on Street Smart Edge. So, Nutriband obtains Korean patent for Aversa drug abuse deterrence technology. Shares rise pre-bell. That's good, and it is catching a bid this morning. Historically, this thing really hasn't done much volume. Up here in, let's see, the middle of October, it started doing some decent volume. But prior to that, NTRB would trade on the day 2 million shares. But then, prior to this run up right here, 100 shares on the day, 2,000 shares on the day, 866, so on and so on. I mean, really low, like sub 1,000 shares per day is quite common for this stock. So now, here in recent history, it's, started doing, the many thousands and hundreds of thousands. And on big news days, it goes into the millions. Here you can see 69 million shares traded on the 12th of October. This is a trick that I have these. I'm going to take these. Actually, maybe I'll leave them on these levels. They might be handy. But Wall Street kind of did its trick here. Let's see. This day right here, from bottom to top, is a whopping $3.22 on 69 million shares traded. The whatever sort of diffuser or cooler system that Wall Street has enacted since probably a year and a half to 2 years ago to keep small cap momentum from making big runs, it's on, and so it's going to require careful trading. And actually, I think that really what Wall Street is doing is encouraging investing here. So, after the price cools off a bit, it'll come back down. It'll be worth an investment, I imagine. Okay, so Tesla's hitting a level here. Interesting. All right, we'll look at that in a moment. And actually, while I'm thinking about it, and I'll show you, and there are a whole bunch of examples. Actually, I should go back and look. So here's Biopath Holdings. Now let's look at this thing like 2 years ago. I traded this thing, here it goes. Or no, actually, there's an even better idea right here. So this is the first time I traded BPTH. I traded it on 3 or 4 of these days right here. And it went from, let's see where it was, roughly $2 to as high as $73.52. And for people who don't know how to trade momentum, what that means essentially is, you take your winnings and you walk away. Because eventually what this thing is going to do is it's just going to come right back down to, if there's somebody that bought, at $74 and they're just sitting there, they'll probably never recover their losses from this stock. They might be able to put it somewhere else. So I think Wall Street has just kind of chosen to get together and self-regulate and make sure that this kind of stuff, just doesn't happen anymore, that these kind of runs don't happen anymore. Boy, was it fun. And the first year that I traded, I made more in the first year trading small cap momentum than I did in the second or third subsequent years, not combined, but the first year that I started trading momentum full time was my best year, and it's because stocks, they were allowed to run like this. They were allowed to make their gigantic runs. So let's see, this thing made a total move of $70.87 within these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. And there are a whole bunch of examples of this. And usually it's actually only in 1 day or 2 days. But there are a lot of examples of this. And I think this is what Wall Street essentially is putting an end to, because I imagine there are a lot of people who are complaining, crying, or whatever about their losses. I get it, but that's kind of the way up until only two years ago. That's the way it went. For hundreds of years, or since the stock market's been around. I don't know. I think the late 1800s, late 19th century. That's part of the game. That's how you learn. But I guess some people, with enough clout, complained enough to, unfortunately, put an end to it. And it's really too bad for people like me who, went through the school of hard knocks and figured out how to trade it. And anyway, so okay, I imagine that there's going to be some movement on NTRB today, but it's probably going to be really noisy and choppy and difficult to trade. So if you are in a winning position, take profits relatively. I imagine take profits relatively quickly. There was a stock or a few. So recently I've been buying the dips and then holding them through the day, and it's been working. But I don't know. Anyway, just be careful out there on NTRB. Looks good though. I mean, this pre-market chart. It's a nice looking chart, and a breakout. Oops, what is that? What did I do? Okay, so like as of right now, a breakout above $6.31 is your signal to buy. Pre-market, don't do that. A regular market. I think regular market, it'll probably open, chop around a bit, and then start dipping down. And where it dips down to and where it buys, you really got to kind of keep an eye on it and stuff. I'll be watching it, for sort of the bottoming price, the volume candles, and so forth. So I don't think the momentum strategy is going to work. So there's probably going to be a floor it starts to put in, and then starts to run back up, perhaps, if it's going to trade. All right, Tesla now. Okay, here we go. This is interesting. All right, so Tesla, I was looking at Tesla today, and I've traded Tesla a couple times here in recent history, very recent history, for this move up. I caught a small portion on 2 different days of this entire move right here. I caught a little bit of a ride with it. It was worth quite a bit of money, and actually, if I'd stuck with it, it would have been worth many tens of thousands of dollars worth of a trade. I didn't stick with it. I just treated it as a scalp. So, eventually, Tesla will put in another nice big move like this. When it happens, I'm not sure. And so I've been kind of like, sitting back and figuring out, what's going on with the stock, what's happening with Tesla, And so I was looking at these levels. There seems to be this 1070, roughly 1070 level right here on the daily that it's somewhat kind of, in these days here, it'll pop through it and it failed. Then finally here, let me make it larger here, a little bit bigger. So here on this day right here, it finally closed on the 28th of October. It finally closed above this 1070 level. Came back the next day and confirmed it almost. Yeah, the low is 1073 on this day right here, and then really moved away, and then went on to make this high up here around 1200, and then it on the 4th of November, 1, 2, 3, 4 trading days. It fell back down below this 1070 level. On this day, let's see, on the 9th of November, I'll have to look and see if it did anything, if there was any price action. Let's go look at the 10-minute for the 9th of November and see. The 9th of November and see if it did anything like try and recover. So here's the 9th of November. Yeah, plunged through it, bounced back up, and then plunged through and sagged for the rest of the day. Okay, so then here we go. It tried to recover. It went up back above it on the 10th of November, but then closed below it, then gapped up above it and fell back down below, and then finally found support here again, closed above it, came back to test, moved away, and then sold off again. And now we have this line of resistance right here that's put in, right? This sort of, what do you call it? Descending resistance, right? And there's a case to be made that this is a bull flag. I don't really see the bull flag so much, because typically with a bull flag, what you're going to see is a move up instead of this kind of parabolic move. Here, let's get that stuff out of the way here. What we have here is a really parabolic move and then a fall away. That's somewhat bull flag-like, somewhat, but not really. A bull flag, a real bull flag, would be this thing runs up. Here's the base. Here's the base of the flag. Price runs up and consolidates and doesn't drop down more than 50% of the post of the flag here. So if this is the flag post, you never want to see consolidation go lower, a consolidation period go lower than the 50% mark of the post of the flag, right? All right. So it's still bullish, but it's not as bullish as if it were a real true bull flag. This is more sort of Wyckoff looking than it is bull flag looking. It could be doing another thing like this over here, Could be doing this sort of run up consolidation, then another run up. But this is blow off top looking. This is Wyckoff topping pattern looking to me. So, how does this thing play out? It's hard to say, because here's this gap here that it put in. So on the 22nd of October, it put in that gap. And so then this just came down to test the bottom of the gap. And it really took off after it tested the bottom of the gap right there. So what am I looking for? Really, I'm looking to play the day that it breaks this descending resistance. And I imagine what it'll do is that it'll break above the descending resistance one day in a really kind of violent up move. It'll come back and test and then move away again. And so, what the intention here is for it to break here, get people involved in this price area, then shake them out here, and then take off again. So the move that I'm looking for is the break, then scalp the profits on the break, and then come back in after it back tests this resistance line, successfully back tests this resistance line, and then moves forward again. Does that happen? Who knows? It could instead start to break down and break down below this level. And to break down below this level right here would be really bad news, because here we have a succession of lower highs. It's a short time period. 1, lower high, 2, 3, lower high, 4, lower high, and then a succession of lower lows. 1 lower low, 2 lower low, 3 lower low, 4 lower low. This is getting bearish. That's turning into a bearish pattern. So, okay. And so while I was looking at this, I was making all these kind of new marks and stuff on the chart. I went over to these are my layers right here. This is my layer. My object tree, right? And I can kind of go back and just kind of quickly get rid of all the marks that I put on there. And I was like, oh wait, look, I've got this fib retracement that I forgot about, or that I put on there. Who knows? Well, actually, let's go back. I put it on. Let's see. I put it down here. There's the base of this breakout. So the breakout is actually above $500 a share right here that occurred. This is at the split. So the breakout occurred, let's see, about 2.5 months later, right? But here's the base. Here's where it just sort of launched from. So I put a Fibonacci on it. I was like, interesting, okay? And at that time, I didn't know that this was going to be the top. I was just kind of putting a Fibonacci in to see, what was going on with it. And then I just stopped paying attention to it. I was like, yeah, Tesla, I don't really feel like... I didn't have a lot of... I've never invested in Tesla. I've only traded it. And the first time I've traded it was only very recently, right here. But prior to that, I've never messed with Tesla. I've never really looked at it. And I remember back in 2012 or 2013, roughly, that time frame, when it was selling for $35 a share. And I was like, electric cars are stupid. Little did I know. Little did I know. All right. Coffee. Okay, so here we are. And here's this, kind of roughly $900 level right here. I mean, Tesla, wow, it nearly doubled between 16 of November and 25 of January. So in a 2-month time frame, there at the end of 2020, beginning of 2021, it nearly doubled in price. That was incredible. So it did, and the day I put this Fibonacci on, it did happen to be, a recent top, So and I go back and I look at it, I'm like, okay, well, wow, look at that. Look, and then it closed over top of this previous high over here and then took off. It closed over top of this, $900.40 level right here on this day, on the 22nd of October, 2021, and it blazed. It just went totally parabolic. So now selling has come in big time right here. There's been a significant amount of selling happening after it broke above this 1,200, we'll call it $1,200 level right here, which is the next Fibonacci level right here. You see that? And then just kind of has been, selling off and hasn't been able to break back above it. And then actually this, $900 level right here is, holding tight. So I don't know. What's this thing going to do? I can't tell you. And this could be the beginning of a new pattern. Maybe I could put a Fibonacci from here to here, and see what kind of levels shake out from that. I don't know. Right now, I'm going to stick with what seems to be this 1,070 level, and a breakdown and a close below that is going to be bearish for short-term trade. Actually, I'm sorry. No, breakdown below 1,053 right here will be bearish for a short-term trade at least, and a break above this resistance line will be bullish for a trade. What it does, from there, I don't know. When I was trading, I traded these two candles, essentially these two candles right here. And when I was like, okay, well, here it is. It broke above this 994. This is a breakdown candle. So, breaking above this level right here, I was like, okay, there's a trade. So I was able to trade that. And then the next day, when it broke back above, so the next day it opened just slightly below its previous day's high. Let me get it there. There we go. It opened, and this was a good day. The day that I traded right here was a good day. There were good profits on Tesla that day, but I still didn't, I didn't take enough risk on it, and I didn't hold the trade for long enough. I scalped, the break above this previous day's high. I scalped it. And it was a good trade, but certainly didn't maximize the profits on that trade. So, okay. So today, a breakdown, if it breaks down below 1053 today, then I'll look for a scalp trade. I'm not going to try and hold it for very long because it's just a breakdown level. And there's nothing as of right now that says, sell Tesla. In my opinion, it could, later give a really big sell signal, but as of right now, there's no sell signal. All right, everybody, that's my pre-market strategy session. Good luck out there. Keep your risk tight. Click like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, tap the bell, and I will see you at the recap. Have a safe and happy New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. All right, everybody, I am out.